Because we have started naming our children after cities in Western countries. As these days you hear people called Chelsea, Milan, Rome, Sydney, And that's very strange because I know for a fact that white people are not over there naming their children after cities in Ghana. Like in, Berlin, someplace there's a kid called Kukrubite or something. You say, yeah, Shaiman, come on, go and do your homework. Come on, go and do your homework. Mom will be stop playing in the snow. Don't you talk back to me, Malam Junction. You know you have a sad life if you're a kid called Malam Junction.
What's up, y'all? This is Views Podcast. Welcome to another episode, an exciting one. Your host still remains yours truly, Derek. Today we have a special guest in the building. His name is Augustin Dennis, a comedian, a stand-up comedian from GH. The best I know is my view. We'll be asking him about himself, what he's about, what his brand stands for. I mean, everything there is to know about Augustin Dennis. We'll just jump right into it. Welcome, Augustin. Yeah, I know you personally, and it's been a while since I've seen you. I hope everything is great.
I'm good.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, this is Augustin Dennis. I'm sure a lot of people don't know about you, because even the first time I saw you, you walked up to a club, and somebody told me you are the boss. And I was like, I need to know this guy. I mean, a lot of people don't know about you. Why don't you tell us about yourself? Who are you?
Yeah, my name is Augustin Dennis. That's my stage name. The full name is actually Augustin Dennis Kwanzaa. I just happen to use the Augustin Dennis for my stage name. And
so, is it that you don't want people to identify you as a Ghanaian? That is why you use just that brofu name and then you take
the
Ghanaian one out.
There are a lot of people, Yvonne Nelson, David Oscar. It doesn't mean I just happen to be victim of circumstance. I found myself in Malaysia. That's where I started out doing comedy.
Okay.
And there I noticed a lot of people mispronounce my name, the Kwanzaa.
And you didn't think you should teach them to pronounce it?
Well, I tried, but I mean, they were teaching me their Chinese language and I was mangling it up. So, I mean, I knew that it's not easy for them because Kwanzaa, they used to say Kwanash. That's the truth.
Well, that's...
Yeah, it's total corruption,
Yeah.
So, they used to say Kwanash, and I said, let's forget it. It just, Augustin Dennis, and it got around, and I've been using it since. But I got how I entered into comedy. I've always had a predilection for humor. I come from a family where most people are funny. And, my grandfather...
I mean, they say you're Fanti, right?
Yeah, I'm a Fanti.
And Fantis are funny, so...
Yeah, well, that is the notion out there.
Yeah.
I think it played a bit of a part in my course right now. But I come from a family where everybody is funny. My grandfather, my grandmother, my mother, and even an uncle, he's the funniest. And so it was a natural progression, I guess, from school and then,
But did you always want to do comedy? Because you said you were in Malaysia. What were you there for?
Yeah, I went there to study. That's where I did my bachelor's.
And what did you study in school?
I studied a BBA in international business.
Now, that is worlds apart. International business, and then you end up in stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Why?
I wanted to sell things to the world, man. Now I'm selling jokes in Ghana. But, nothing learned in life is useless. I'm pretty sure my background in the business helps me to do what I'm doing right now. And so it helps me to be able to see things a bit more clearly and take up good opportunities when I think I sense them. And so in a sense, comedy and international business aren't that different. I mean, I find a way to make it work.
Okay. Well, I heard that as a comedian, women love guys with a good sense of humor. I mean, are you running through these girls like American football?
Oh, yeah, we've got into that plus, no, but it's true. I think women. It's not just women, actually. Probably mostly people just like to hang around with people who they think have a sense of humor.
Well, you got me there because when you said not just women, I thought you were coming to talk about men as well.
Well, everybody likes somebody who can make them laugh. I like most people. I like because they are funny.
Yeah,
most people I like, and so yeah, you meet a few decent. People, women, and it's all right. I mean, what's the most important is that you two can have a good fit, and it's not just the American football kind of relationship.
Well, that is a very nice diplomatic answer. I like that. I'll copy from you. But what kind of stand-up comedy do you do? I say that, but from a layman's perspective, I've heard you do a show, and I mean, the typical Ghanaian way of doing stand-up comedy, I call it's not standard, but I call it obvious comedy because we expect it, so we laugh. But yours, it's a bit different. You don't really act it. It's more of an intellectual thing. What can you explain what you do? Because yours is a bit different.
Yeah, well, I think comedy as we do it in Ghana is great. I mean, the way we do it, it tells our stories, personal. Yeah. What I do, and the reason why you think it has a quality that is a bit different is because stand-up comedy to me is a premise-based. Premise means that you give an opinion and then you either say that is correct because of A, B, C, D, or this opinion won't work because of A, B, C, D. That's how I approach it. And so approaching it in that sense, I am an observational comic. And so I see the things that I think, is out there, people should pay attention to. And I give my opinion, and then, I defend, or if it's indefensible, I say this is the reason why A or B won't work, and then that is what you say when you say my stuff is a bit different, and I take that as a compliment. But that's the way I try to work, premise based, and then you get your opinion out there.
Okay. Would you say because you started in Malaysia that contributed to how you do your comedy, and who were some of the guys you met in Malaysia, the stages you performed?
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, because I didn't start doing comedy in Ghana, I guess my sense of humor is a bit, towards, sometimes I know some things I say is crazy or whatever, but my sense of humor basically is a combination of these funny people who took me under their wing, when I started off doing comedy. I told you about an Australian good friend of mine called Jonathan Atherton. He's an Australian, he lives in Asia. He's easily the funniest comedian I've been around. If you have some UK comedians, Matt Price, they guided me. And so my sense of humor is what you call a combination of all these other beautiful, interesting people that I met, and then they influenced me in that sense. Yes.
Okay. Did you perform only in Malaysia, or you did other gigs elsewhere?
I performed in Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, and then Cambodia.
Now my question is, you speak English. Now these guys we know speak some, I don't know. But how were you able to communicate your material to them?
Well, the truth is, because of the stand-up comedy, it's predominantly like what's it called, Western thing. It's it was when I was doing it in Malaysia, it was pretty new, and so it's like these people who either traveled outside to go study, in these Western countries, or white people, expats who enjoyed it. So most of the comedy clubs that I performed, to white people, or at least people who speak English. And so you're always speaking in English, and then you can communicate in English, because I couldn't tell jokes in Chinese, even if I tried. Too many Chinese languages. They have Hokkien, Cantonese, Kandu, a lot of stuff. And so it's mostly in English. And so if you speak English, you get my sense of humor.
Now, with Malaysia, you said they are now warming up to the whole stand-up comedy.
Now it's
thing.
big there.
Now it's big.
But I mean, when I started, 2009, it was. I mean, there were monthly shows, like once a month.
Okay. When you compare it to Ghana, because Ghana, we are now warming up to the shows. I mean, we don't really have comedy clubs here. I know you started something last year. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I was doing what is called LCT, Live Comedy Thursdays. We did it at the Renus restaurant in Osu, Oxford Street Mall.
This was last year?
This was last year. We did a couple shows there, and I took a break from it. I was the one, running the whole. Took a little break, went to school for a little bit, and so. Another
school in Malaysia?
No. I did some courses here in Ghana.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I did marine engineering at RMU. Yeah.
So you did international business, and then you did marine engineering, and you were still a comedian.
Yes.
I guess that's where the passion is.
Yeah, I mean, I think comedy is always going to be a means to an end, I think I'm a huge fan of self-development, you always try to be a better version of yourself every year, and so that would include experiences and learning, and you have to soak up learning the way the roots of a tree soak up water, so you do a few courses here and there, better yourself. So yeah, I did.
Now, you are saying it's because of school. That's why you, the Renus, went downhill. But I heard something else.
Oh, what did you hear?
Well, I heard you had some issues with some players in the industry. That is why the whole thing came to an end.
Well, that's not entirely true. Yes, I'll be first to admit that I have some challenges with. Some things here and there, but I mean, it was just blown out of proportion, It's just again, this is a social arena. You have to deal with human beings, and so it's bound to happen, tempers flare up in there, but it was nothing, it was just something that just happened. It had no bearing on whether that show continued or it stopped, but mostly it was because of the school. I had to go and get some education, because that's the most important thing. So, like I said, I went to study marine engineering, and I think everything turned out well.
Well, if you're listening, this is still Augustin Dennis, the funniest guy I know, the best stand-up comedian in Ghana. Well, Augustin, where do you see yourself in the near future?
Yeah.
In the next 5 years.
Yes. Alive, first of all.
Amen.
And then, whatever we're doing is a competitive sport. Like I say, I want to be a better comedian. I want to be a better person. And so, in the next 5 years, I want to be doing the big shows. Going the places. Mounting those platforms that puts my name and my brand out there. So more laughter in the next 5 years.
Now, with that being said, there are not a lot of platforms in Ghana, and Ghanaians are now warming up to the whole stand-up comedy thing. What do you have in mind? Do you have any plans? Because I think there's only one running now, the comedy shop.
Yeah.
And apart from that, there is nothing. Then I think we have the 1,000, and that is recurrent every year.
Yeah.
Apart from that, what are you guys doing as a comedian, as an industry? What are you guys doing to sustain the industry?
Right. It's true. As it stands now, the only place you can go And as a comedian, or if you love comedy, go and catch some comedy. Right now, it's the comedy shop at the Laboni coffee shop. But for us comedians, we know that you have to go and hone your act. You have to get in shape, so that you're always good value for your next performance. What we plan on doing, we have another show coming up. It's called Laugh Line. It's gonna be at the Accra Mall. It's on the first Saturday of the month, 3rd September. That's when it starts. All the other comedians are gonna be there. The DKBs, Foster, Chemical, everybody is gonna be there. And so we are just trying to get more avenues like that to perform and to get good, because we want to get good so that whenever you come to see us as a member of the audience, you get value for your money, and that's what we are doing. But like I said, this is a multifaceted thing. We need the audiences, we need the comedians to be good, and then we need event organizers to have faith and put us in their shows, because like I said, every show with a comedian is a better show. I mean, even if you had an orgy, you had to have a comedian in there somewhere.
And how would that play out?
Yeah, I think some people will be smiling. That's the least. I mean,
yeah, Augustin doing this thing is always cracking some jokes. Anyways, if people want to see your work, listen to some of the materials you have out there, where can they go to?
Well, first of all, the big hub for it all is my YouTube channel. It's called Augustin Dennis. You can look me up. I have shows Singapore, Malaysia, the shows that I've done, some interviews on DW radio in Germany.
You were interviewed by DW?
Yeah, I got a feature, actually. It's not a...
So it was like it was a main artist and then they featured you?
No, they came to... they have reporters here in Ghana, DW. So they came and they witnessed one of the comedy shows that I did, and they put it in the feature. They were just trying to make people aware of the fact that Nigeria seems to be the bigger comedy market. That's what everybody knows. But hey, this is little Ghana, which is coming up, and this is a guy, he's coming up from Ghana, and then they put a little spotlight on it. So yeah, I have that on there, and I have the shows that I've done since I've been back in Ghana. Some of them are there. I have a Twitter handle. It's called Auggie Dennis, AUGGIE.
I mean, you confused me over there when you said Auggie. I thought it was Auggie.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah, so I have Instagram too, and I have Facebook. Everything is Augustin Dennis, apart from Twitter, which is Auggie Dennis. You can check me there. You get updates on my next shows, the happenings, and everything you need to know about Augustin Dennis. They are on those social media platforms.
Now, if people want to witness live performance, you in flesh, face to face, where can they, catch you?
Definitely. Every other 2 weeks, Thursday, at the comedy shop in Laboni. I'll be there doing my thing.
Where in Laboni?
The Laboni coffee shop.
Okay.
Right. If you don't know where it is, right next to the EcoBank, Syriatex, that building. You come there, you see me with some other comedians, doing a vocation, if you would. And so yeah, if you want to see me, that's the place. And then from next month, once a month on Saturdays, you could see me at the Silverbird Cinemas in the Accra Mall. So these are the places you are guaranteed you catch an appearance when it comes to performance.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. There's Augustin Dennis. You can catch him on Facebook, on YouTube, Augustin Dennis.
Videos.
On Twitter, Auggie, not Auggie, Auggie Dennis. You can follow him, and I'm sure he will follow back, right?
Definitely, I always follow back. Right? In the first 3 months, I'll follow back. No, I mean the next day. Yeah. So yeah, I'll follow back, and let's get interactive.
Well, Augustin Dennis, thank you for your time today. We know you're very busy. but it's better sometimes. Thank you for the insight. I'm sure our listeners also know where to find you on online. And every other Thursday, the comedy shop comes to you at the coffee shop, Hash Lounge. If you don't know where that is, if you know Syria Text, the same compound, you can catch Augustin Dennis live doing this thing amongst other comedians. We've come to a close. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far with us, thank you. Really appreciate you. Go on there, leave a comment, #Views Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Views Podcast, on Facebook at Views Podcast. Rock with us and we rock with you as well. Stay blessed.
I've noticed the fancier the name of the girl, the uglier she is, Oh, quite frankly, the other day, man, I saw some girl, man. She told me her name is called Paris. Oh, you should have seen her. She should be called Wagadugu. A Lupo or something like that. Anything but Paris.